I dilly dilly diddle dum dilly doodle diddle dum dilly doo die dilly die day. I dilly diddle dum dilly doodle diddle dum dilly doo die dilly die day. I dilly diddle dum dilly doodle diddle dum dilly doo die dilly die day. I dilly diddle dum dilly doodle diddle dum dilly doo die dilly die day. Hey guys, it's Brian. Welcome to the live food jive, manifesting the real you. St. Patrick's Day is coming up this weekend, and so I thought we would make something with cabbage, something healthy with cabbage. And so today is going to be sauerkraut. Hope you don't mind the guitar playing. I didn't get to do any shows this year. I traveled with my family and some different bands and Irish music for a lot of years. This year we're staying home. So the family and I are staying home. No shows this year. But I'd like to share with you a tradition in our house of sauerkraut. Sauerkraut is a very, very powerful food. That's a superfood. A lot of you like sauerkraut. I know a lot of you probably consume it. And if you haven't made sauerkraut, you haven't had sauerkraut. I mean, it is just amazing when it comes from your own hands in your own kitchen. And if you've had it in the store that has, canned and processed, that isn't raw, like from delis, some delis you can buy sauerkraut raw. But if you've had it in the can or whatnot that's been processed, pretty much all of the enzymes and the probiotics have been cooked right out of it, believe it or not. So you're not really consuming the essence of sauerkraut and what it's intended. It may taste good, but what its intentions are as a health benefit, you're not actually consuming. So sauerkraut has a lot of vitamins, a lot of nutrients inside of it, and the probiotics are what you really want. Probiotics, we talk a lot about manifesting the real you. And part of manifesting the real you is to align your brain and gut. Your gut is like your second brain. You can read all about it all over. You can read studies that they've done. The gut actually has a brain. It actually thinks. You ever get that, your gut instinct? I don't feel good about this. My gut tells me this. My gut tells me that. That person, makes my gut turn. Things like that. So that's very real. And a lot of times with the diets that most modern people have, with a lot of processed foods, we've lost that intuition. There's been a great gap in gut-brain health. So they're not talking to each other. And so part of what I am trying to do with this video series is to help you to align your gut and brain. And there's other things to that as well. Gut, brain, heart. So we're going to talk about these things throughout some of these videos. And not all my videos are going to be about food, because when I talk about the live food jive, manifesting the real you, food to me is not just what you eat. Food is everything that you consume through your ears, through your nose, things, around you, what you consume energy-wise. A lot of us consume bad energy in different places that we're at. We have people that, don't jive with us trying to have positive energy. It's like you walk out of your house, you're ready to rock and roll and have a good day, and all of a sudden, everybody's at you, and, by the time you get home at night, you forgot how to manifest the real you, because you've been covered by, bills and bosses and, whatever. So what I'm trying to do with this series is to provide you with some foods that can, and some ideas about daily living that can help you and also help your kids, your family. This goes for any age group. You can change your mind and change your attitude, any age group. Like I've said before, I have been a vegetarian vegan for many, many years. We've been high raw for several years as well. High raw, when I say raw living foods, basically I'm telling you that I'm 90%, 80% raw. Some days I'm 70%, some days I'm 100%. I incorporate a lot of raw foods into my life, into my kids, into our pets' lives. We have whole plant foods. That's what we consume. Now, we are 100% plant-based. So when I say that we cheat or something like that, or we go out and have a pizza, I'm not saying that we eat meat, because we don't. That's a personal choice that everyone has. But I can tell you this. I guarantee you this. If you follow my ideals of a plant-based diet, living food, raw living food, and you do it for 7 days, 30 days, 50 days, just give your body an amount of time to feel the difference. I promise you, it will make an amazing transformation into your life. It will change your world. So many of us are just okay with being sick. We're okay with being, a way that we're not comfortable, but we're just okay because we say, well, that's just how I am. Well, I truly believe inside that each one of us has, the potential to be just amazing. And, that comes from a place inside of me that I've always felt that, I have a connection with humans. And I really hope that through this video series, I can help you guys make little transformations in your lives and become the best you. Anyway, let's get on to sauerkraut. So, sauerkraut, simple, easy. You are going to need about 3 pounds of cabbage. That's an average size head of cabbage. Don't worry about the pounds. I mean, don't come home with a head of cabbage like this, because it's not going to work. But about 3 pounds, regular size. I use purple cabbage. Hands down, absolutely amazing taste. So the purple cabbage, you're gonna chop it up. This happens to be a half a head of cabbage in here. I've already done 1/2, so I can show you what it's going to look like at the end. You're going to need a mason jar. We've started this already. This is take 2. So anyhow, the UPS guy decided to come, and so the dogs went crazy upstairs. But so this is take 2. So we've got a little bit already started here. You're going to want Himalayan pink salt. Okay, it's in my kitchen. Ditch all your other salt. Himalayan pink salt, great stuff. There is a difference in salt between, table salt and real salt. Okay. There's a nutrient difference. There's a difference in how it reacts in your body. There's a difference in how it reacts with your blood pressure, all that stuff. So read up on that. So you're going to need 1.5 tablespoons of the salt per jar. So I cut my cabbage in half, and then I do 2 teaspoons and a pinch. So it's not an exact science. It's not. You want to have enough salt. Don't get me wrong. Because you have to create a brine in which the sauerkraut can grow. And it has to be a safe environment so that you can eat it. You'll know if it's bad, but you definitely don't want bad sauerkraut. So we've got all this set up here. You probably wonder what this is. This is actually sidelight. This is dirt from my home, the homeland, Ireland. This is actually from Knockadureen, Ireland. So I brought that as a little bit of a, it comes with me. You put energy into things, and things give you energy, and this was, my mother's side of the family. So our original family came here in the potato famine, like so many other Irish families, and they always said we'll be back again someday, and that was the story anyway in Knockadureen, because some of the neighbors had passed those stories down that clan had said they'll be back, and they never did come back. But when I went several years ago, I got myself a little bit of dirt and brought it back. A little bit of my energy from part of who I am, so it's kind of cool. But anyhow, so let's get started. What we're going to do is when you start out, you're going to grab your Himalayan salt and put a little pinch, just a pinch. Try to divide it out, okay? Put a little bit in there like this, and then you're going to add some cabbage. Put some cabbage in, 1 inch or 2 like that. Now, I forgot to tell you, you need a tamper. So every good Irish household has one of these. A lot of times at the front door, my mother used to, no, I'm just kidding, my mother never had one of these. She didn't need that with all us boys. But also play a little baseball. In my house, I use it as a tamper for sauerkraut. So get yourself something wood like that. This works great, actually. I hang it right in my kitchen. And so basically, you're going to tamp your cabbage down, and you're going to hear it crunching, all that good stuff, and that's great. You don't want to, don't beat the cabbage. You don't want to bruise it. So you do want to crack it because you do want to help it to release the water. The salt is going to draw the water out, okay? So basically you do that, you're going to grab another little bit of salt like that, put some more cabbage in, and you're going to keep doing this over and over again until you get to the top. Now, as you go, the brine from the cabbage usually will just keep going. You're just going to keep pushing down, and you're going to see more and more water in there. And by the time you're done, the water is going to probably be almost even. It's amazing. It just comes out of nowhere. It comes right out of the cabbage. You don't have to add water to it. I've never had to add water to mine. There are recipes online about how to mix water and salt in case your cabbage didn't have enough water, but I've never had to do that. So basically, when you get up to a point, you'll want to save a leaf of cabbage off the original one. You know how you peel some of them off? Save one of them and make them just big enough to go on the inside. What that's going to do is going to go over top of the shreds of cabbage, okay? Because you're going to have this all shredded up the way you like it. And so that goes over top. And then you're going to get, well, I'll bring this one over here. Now this is the one that I did earlier. And it does have liquid in it. I know it's pretty hard to see, but it already has the liquid. Has the the big piece of cabbage on the top. And then I have these other glass jars that I fill with little rocks, and I set that right on top. Now you have to make sure the air gets to the cabbage. You need to have the air. So you just want one that's smaller. And then what I do is, I don't have any fancy equipment. I think I've told you that in my kitchen. I have my Vitamix and a few other pieces of equipment, but generally I just find stuff around. So I have these bookends that used to be one rock, and they're cut in half, so I can make one batch with this. And I basically will take a paper towel, and this one's got a little bit of cabbage juice on there already, and I put that on underneath, because your water is going to continue to come up and go over the edge. It will eventually just stop, and so you'll have to change that paper towel, or get yourself a towel that you don't mind getting bleached with cabbage, and use it over and over for that. You can just wash it. That works really well. Better for the environment as well. So what you want to do is just set something heavy. I mean, you can use a book. You can use Booksa, but I just happen to have this rock that I've had these for years, and so I put them right on there like that. And actually, these were given to me by my Irish aunt, Sister Joan Maher. So Aunt Joan, thanks for these. This is what I make sauerkraut with. You gave me these when I was just a child. And now I make sauerkraut with them. Anyway, let them sit 7 days, okay? 7 days. That's my magic number for sauerkraut, is 7 days. I think sauerkraut at 7 days, you have enough probiotics going on. You've got, the nutrition level is there. And at 7 days, you've got a sauerkraut. You got a good taste. You got a crunchy cabbage. And I also can't wait longer than 7 days, okay? That's probably more honest than anything. So I can consume myself one of these probably in a day sometimes. So during the course of a week, make 4 or 5 of these. They sit right on the counter. I can label them so I know which ones are ready, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we nibble on them. Have a little ramekin of sauerkraut with your meal. One of my favorite recipes, though, that I'm going to tell you about that I think you should try is Ezekiel bread. So you toast your Ezekiel bread, you slice some good avocados, put them on there, and then you pile on this purple sauerkraut, cracked pepper on top like that. Eat it open face, just like that. Oh my Lord, I'm telling you, that is a great meal for breakfast or a little snack during the day, in between meals. That's one thing too, being a raw living foodist, we eat several times a day, so a lot of times you won't have breakfast, lunch, and dinner at our house. It's kind of like everybody's just kind of grazing all day, and that's good, there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with eating. Eating is really a personal thing, and that's my goal is to help incorporate some good, healthy habits into your lifestyle, because a lot of people, they they eat, and they're pretty regimented, and they feel that this is what they eat, and they don't want anybody else telling them, and that's good. But if you can take some of these recipes and you can add them into your life, I guarantee you things are gonna look up for you. And so this should be ready for St. Patrick's Day coming up Saturday. So I'm going to leave you with a song, and that's just what you get because I'm Irish and we sing songs. So I had an opportunity to sing a song, and I want you to be the best you can possibly be. From the inside of my heart, I want all of you to have a beautiful life. So enjoy the sauerkraut recipe, and we'll talk to you next time. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the bloomin' heather. Will you go, lassie, go? Will you go, lassie, go? Slanch, everyone.